everyone. Hi, I am your host, Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals. We have been running this interview series for the last 7 years now. We bring you industry experts from all over the globe. Today, my guest is from Germany, and she is amazing. These industry experts can help improve your personal life, help grow your business, and I am just thrilled to be here with you again today. And I'm also so grateful that you're watching and sharing and commenting. You just never know who needs to hear our message, and you just might help get it out there. So, welcome to our guest today, Anne. She is a professional career and life coach. And who doesn't need a little coaching through life? My goodness, we need support for that. So she is supporting the impact driven. So if you've got some drive and you want to go somewhere with your life and you're super creative, she is going to just be there to lift you up and support you on your journey, give you direction, give you clarity, give you that accountability person you need to lean on so that you can achieve so much more than you ever believed you could before you started. So welcome, Anne.
Thank you so much. Thanks. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah. So I was saying earlier, I lived in Germany for a few years, and that was a lot of fun. It was a very beautiful experience and got to travel a bit in Europe while I was there. So tell us your journey. How did you decide, I'm going to really help these impact driven creative professionals? I am going to be a professional and life coach and support people. How'd you roll out of bed and decide that was going to be the answer for you one day?
I definitely didn't roll out of bed and decide it. But I think it is a longer story. I'm based in Germany now, like you said, but I actually grew up in New Zealand. That's where I'm from.
Mm.
I had a very, outdoors focused childhood. So we spent a lot of time camping and tramping, as we call it. Everyone else knows it as hiking.
Yeah.
A lot of time in nature, and that set me on a path really of becoming a landscape architect as a career choice.
Well, in Germany, it's Volts marching. So it's not tramping in Germany, it's Volts marching. And I did a lot of that when I was living there, and I loved it. What a beautiful tradition and way for the community to come together. Even it wasn't just individual families go out and take a hike or go out and do something. It was the whole villages, and multiple villages would all come together and do this Volts marching thing. And you got little plaques for your walking stick and all kinds of things. It was a very cool experience. So I love that you shared that.
Yeah. Wow. I have not experienced it myself. It sounds amazing.
You should try it.
Yeah.
And then
I'm going to look into it.
you walk all this time, and sometimes in the summer, and it's hot, and they have a path, and there's just hordes of people, and there's little pit stops along the way so that you can mark that you've gone the whole way. They kind of track you off somehow, and they serve you hot tea, which, as an American, I was like, it is summer, and and I'm walking through the woods and up and down the hills and through these beautiful places and seeing little mini waterfalls and things. And you're handing me a hot cup of tea. Have you lost your mind? But no, they were handing me hot tea. And then you get down to the stopping spot, and it would be, big halls or churches would open up their halls, and a huge festival and more food than you ever saw in your life. So I'm thinking, again, as an American, we just did all this exercising, and now you're going to feed me all this food. And believe me, it was not on the diet foods menu.
Yeah.
So,
That sounds right.
yeah, but you need to go. It's a great experience.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to look that up. Sounds fascinating.
All right. So now that I interrupted your story, you grew up outside, did a lot of outside activities, and then where did you go?
Then I became a landscape architect as my choice of study. And I think it was really, I was drawn to wanting to have some sort of creative expression in my life, but also to understand the world around me a whole lot better. And then when I got into my first job, my career, it was a rocky start for me. I realized that I didn't really have the relational skills that I needed to be happy in the work that I was doing, or really even to do a good job. But I did find my way. I worked really hard, and I did lots of personal development, and I climbed the ladder. But I saw challenges along my way, not just with myself, but with many people in the industry. And I'm talking about, I guess, addressing things like climate change, having an impact on the communities that we're designing for, and really getting traction with what we were trying to achieve. And at the same time, I was learning more and more about how the construction industry as a whole, of which I was working within, right, was having a really large carbon impact.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I was reflecting more and more on what is this relational skills that I was missing at the start of my career, and I was starting to develop and see it help me a whole lot in my career. What does that mean in terms of what we could be doing as an industry as a whole, and what a difference that could be making? So I was kind of mulling that over. And I was seeing the part of the problem with the systems that we were in, and also how do we help other people buy into the big, beautiful ideas that we've got. I mean, we're working with stakeholders, with the public, and with teams, and everyone has to be kind of singing from the same song sheet in order to really make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And that does require a lot of, I guess, leadership skills and relational skills. And it's not something that we're taught in our degree. We're taught the technical. And I guess I went through in my personal life this move to Germany. That was 3 years ago, and it was a challenging time for me personally. I found myself here with a small child, 2 years old, not really having language proficiency, and just questioning, oh my goodness, where have I found myself? And then alongside that, it really did take me on this path of becoming a coach, both because I was looking for how do I find my way in this new country, but also how do I tackle some of these questions I had throughout my career to date.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So tell me, when someone, in their personal life, from a life coach standpoint, or even in their career or their professional life, where is it that they find themselves that they're seeking someone like you and coming to you with the questions and concerns and things that they have?
Yeah, I often find that I'm working with people.
So
Oh,
sorry.
that's
Well, we're live, so
okay.
bless me.
Oh,
Sorry, Ed. Go
no,
ahead.
that's fine. I find that people often come to me when they're in that mid-career level point. They have worked really hard. They might have climbed the ladder a little bit where I was. And then they've found that the meaning or the fulfillment piece is missing. They're not
Mm,
feeling like they're balanced in life. They've like worked really hard. Maybe they're suffering burnout.
mhm,
Maybe they're feeling like they're just not having the impact that they feel like they should be able to have, and it's frustrating and tiring, and they're questioning why they were doing it in the first place. And so I help them at that point to come back to who they are as people, to align their work with their values and figure out what path forward. Maybe it is the path that they're on, but they just need to be showing up differently. Or maybe it's thinking, what else is right for me, and what direction can I go in that is going to align with my values and give me that fulfillment and meaning that I'm looking for.
yeah, that's lovely. So when they first come to you, I'm guessing you have some sort of discovery call, and then do you decide that they need to go take your online course or do your group program or one-on-one, or is it all one-on-one? What's their experience as they go through this process with you?
I work with people one on one. I really like that because I feel like I can go to a deeper level with people.
Mhm,
What I do with people first is to help them to dream and get out
mhm,
of the everyday grind, and or the rat race, the hamster wheel, whatever you want to call it, and take a moment, like an hour with me, just to dream and to look at what is the vision for you. Like if everything worked out exactly how you would like it without all the constraints, then what would life look like in 5 years' time? And
mhm,
I think often people don't allow themselves to do that. And so that
mhm,
session in itself can be very powerful. Then I go into, okay, in the time that we're working together, which is often, I guess, 2 or 3 months that I work with people, and going into what can we achieve in that time. So what goals do we want to set and work on together? And then diving deeper, what's getting in the way of achieving those goals? What do we need to tackle? And it's very exploratory.
mhm.
Sometimes I work with creative approaches, so bringing art into our sessions. It can be a very powerful way of uncovering some of the things that are not so easy to uncover around how our minds work. So looking at
What
mindset,
kinds of
what
art
beliefs.
are they drawing? Are they paint? Because I paint, I sew, I kayak. I know it's not art, but and I write poetry and I write songs. So what kind of art do you do?
whatever the person brings. So I'm very open to exploring and matching to who that person is,
Very
um,
cool.
and how they want to express themselves.
Mhm. And I
Yeah.
love that 5-year exercise. I'm totally gonna take the time to do that, is spend an hour and just plan out. Because in 5 years' time, I'll be enjoying my 3rd year of retirement. Like, that's the plan. I have this 2-year plan to get both my husband and myself, so that we are more retired, which means we'll still be doing things we love. Like, I probably still be running interviews just because I absolutely love it. But definitely lots more travel and lots more investments and lots more money working for us. We've just started that path and journey and are seeing some of the exciting things that can happen with that and the doors that can open. So, and the acceleration that can come as far as goals like retirement when you start making different investments and things. So, yeah, that's part of where I see the dream for us. And for me, it doesn't seem like so much of a dream as a plan and just taking the steps to get there. So, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, love it.
So, so give us a tip, something they can use today that will improve their life.
Yeah, I think just to really notice what's happening on the inside, notice what you're feeling. Notice
Mhm,
when you're feeling excited, when you're feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, stressed. And I guess just take a moment and ask yourself, what's the opportunity in that feeling? What's it telling you? Maybe it's telling
mhm,
you that you need to look at whether you're aligned with your values.
mhm,
Maybe you need to ask yourself, is there a piece of action that I can take to shift the situation that I'm currently in? So
mhm.
seeing what's happening in your inner world really is information, and then using that towards something. And I think coaching can really help you on that
Mhm.
journey.
Yeah, I think that that's a beautiful tip. So, when we started this show 7 years ago, we from episode one, we wanted to make sure that we were taking that moment of pause. I feature amazing humans who also think beyond themselves. They think about their community and the world and how they can support it. So, this is a great time for you watching, and thank you for watching. You're up bright and early with us in some parts of the world. And share this because you just don't know who you might inspire just by clicking that button to do something good, to share time, treasure, or talent with a cause local to them or near them, or even maybe with a cause that Anne will share with us. So, Anne, what's a cause that's close to your heart?
So the cause that I've chosen to support in having this conversation is called 360.org, and
Mhm,
they're an organization that help address climate change. You can probably tell from what I've said to
mhm,
now that this is something close to my heart, and they
mhm,
do that through addressing our use of fossil fuels, and helping, I guess, advocate for renewable energy. And I'm a mother myself. I really care about supporting our future generations, and thinking about what we can be doing now in order to support our future and the future of our children and children's children.
Right. Well, and one of those things in my, actually starting to do it and build it now is, for me, is the concept of generational wealth, generational healing, generational wealth, and building that legacy and education from both our history as families and our art and just bringing through the stories and all of the pieces of that, as well as a foundation of actual longevity wealth, much like the Rockefellers have been able to achieve for their family for a very, very long time, and having that continue to progress, and I think one of our greatest treasures is our planet. So teaching in that whole generational healing and wealth and masterminding and having community with investments and ideas of how to share the history and the culture long term, and have that be taught. Again, one of those lessons has to be, treasure our home, which is our planet, and how to make a difference in the community and the world from that standpoint as well. So I love that you shared that cause. Now, our watchers already know that by the end of 2024, we are hoping to reach, and I think we're on track for the goal, interviewing and meeting with over 1,000 industry experts from across the globe, which is kind of an exciting accomplishment to achieve. And in that, we always ask for a book that inspired their personal life or helped grow their business, because we're creating the ultimate book list that has been provided as suggestions by all our brilliant guests. So, what is a book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business?
Yeah, the book that I would like to share is called Untamed by Glennon Doyle. And I read it, I guess, about 2 years ago now, at this time when I had just arrived in Germany and I was trying to figure out, like, what am I doing here with my life? Am I going to take this coaching path? Am I going back to landscape architecture? And
Mm,
the reason that it was so powerful for me is that it really helped me to tune in with my own intuition, to figure out how to be true to myself and to really own who I am, all of myself, the positives, the not so positive bits, the good, the bad, and the ugly, basically. Like, we all
mhm,
have those sides to ourselves, right? And it helped me really to see, how can I use the sides of myself that maybe I haven't liked so much in the past, and what benefits have they given me, and could they give others? And it also helped me to realize the importance of self-love, and how if you do are able to love yourself, that you are able to show up in relationship in completely different ways and
mhm,
really have that impact in a powerful way. I think if you're focused on your own experience and what's going on the inside, then you're not able to give outwardly in the way that feels like you're able to give kindness and give to the world. And so that was that
mhm.
was really powerful for me.
I love that. I hope you've been enjoying being here on this interview as much as I've enjoyed having you. Is there anything about yourself or your business that we didn't get to touch on that you'd like to share before I move into the next segment of the show?
I would just like to share some encouragement to anyone out there listening. I was a super shy child and I was a very indecisive young adult. I was seeking to please others and yet feeling like I was failing. And
Mhm,
I changed my life. And I think I just want to share that I don't think you can have everything in this life, but I think you can choose your journey, and you can choose your focus, and you can change how you relate to yourself and to others.
mhm,
And so this is just an encouragement to take one step now towards that desired future that, if you dig deep down, you know that you want. And just a reminder to ask yourself, what's the cost of not taking those steps? If you look, I don't know, 5, 10, 50, 100 years in the future.
That's absolutely right. If you're watching right now and you're thinking, I'm an industry expert, I could help someone's life improve, I could help them grow their business, then you should be on our show. I totally agree with you. Reach out to us and our team, and we will give you the directions on how to be featured, as we have featured Anne today. And if you are an industry expert, I'm guessing you know a few. So be someone else's hero and ours. Email, introduce us, and we will give them the directions of how to get them on the show. Now, there will be an article written about Anne that will go with this. It'll be added as description and in comments, all the different places that you are finding us. And I thank you for finding us and participating. And I really touched every time you hit that share button, because, again, you just don't know who really needed to hear this message today. Now, before we say goodbye, as we close out, we need one final thought, a piece of information or inspiration from you. And do you have something else up your sleeves?
Oh, that was my piece that I gave
I
before.
know.
Just this belief, like, you can do it. You're worth it.
That's right. You can do it and you are worth it. And you know who I am. I am Jessica Koch, your host. This has been another Profound Professionals. So until next time, everyone, please, oh, please be kind to yourselves and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.
Bye.